Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew and today I want to discuss the pros and cons of buying a pre-built PC versus building your own. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now, I'm not a computer expert or any of that stuff. I am a consumer just like you. I buy my own stuff. I go through the motions. I learn through trial and error just like anybody else. But I have happened to I've actually bought a laptop, a pre-built, and I've built my own PC now. So I think that I'm at least kind of qualified to maybe talk about this. And trust me, this is all coming from a consumer point of view versus some tech expert or anything like that. Because in the comment section, you are going to see multiple people telling you to build your own PC, and as a consumer, as a console gamer, as somebody that grew up playing consoles and only recently came to PC, I can honestly tell you that there is a difference in how you go about things when it comes to PC. So, let's get started with the pros of buying a pre-built. Me personally, I'm not 100% against buying a pre-built. I do think that there is a use case for buying pre-builts that is actually beneficial for beginners when they're coming to PC. Now, you're going to hear all the other people on the other side telling you that, oh man, just build it yourself. Just build it yourself. One of the videos on my channel is of me building a gaming chair. That video has over 20,000 views, and I didn't think it was going to get 1,000 views. So I know that people have difficulties and have trouble building things, and that's fine, man. That's when you're getting into something you don't know, you don't understand, and you're trying. Man, when we get a new piece of equipment at work, I literally go through the book step by step to fix things or to maintain them or other things, because it's how you do it. Like, that's how you learn how to do things. So the pros of buying a pre-built PC: it's already put together for you. That's a good thing. All the software is already downloaded, installed, and ready to go. You don't have to worry about putting things together or finding a space to put it together. It's already there and it's already running. And the overall and the overall convenience of buying that. So, those are those plus there's usually like some are going to have like proprietary things in there, to help you monitor your system to see how things are going. There's plenty of reasons. There are a lot of good reasons to buy a pre-built. Not having any experience with PCs, so you get some pretty decent training wheels, along the way. You usually get a manufacturer's warranty, and this is a big one, okay? The manufacturer's warranty, whoever builds your PC is going to warranty that anywhere from, a year to 3 years, whatever, and you can potentially buy an extended warranty if you need to do that, if that's something that you worry about. There's a lot of there's a lot of components, in a PC. Not a lot, not an overwhelming amount, but there's a lot of different components that could fail. And you could be left scratching your head, whereas, if something fails and you just call the place that you got it and they're like, okay, you send it in, they fix it and send it back to you. Or they provide some sort of tech support to help you figure things out along the way. Because, when you're new to PC, you're new to PC. You've got to learn. There is a slight learning curve when it comes to PC and the things that you're going to have to learn, the things that So yeah, I'm not 100% against buying a pre-built, but there are some downsides to it as well. So depending on the pre-built that you buy, if you buy it from a company that lets you pick your parts and then have it assembled and they ship it out to you, versus going and buying like an HP or like an HP Omen or an Alienware or something that's already prefabbed and pre-assembled and all of that stuff. Those ones there are the ones that I personally would probably stay away from, is like the HPs and the Lenovos and all of that stuff. Just simply because of the fact that they're going to use a proprietary motherboard most of the time, which is not compatible with basically anything else, like like your ITX or your ATX boards, like your regular ATX board. And this is something that I learned myself. Like my HP board was absolutely useless to me in this build. Like I had to buy a whole brand new motherboard and everything just to get it up and running. There's different plugs and all kinds of different stuff on that board for their proprietary stuff that they stick on there. It wasn't a bad starter PC. Like, I don't think my HP Omen was bad, but at the same time it made upgrading and, you know, moving things around way more difficult than it needed to be. I mean, the power supply was like was like ingrained behind the motherboard and all kinds of stuff, and it was just in this like the way the case was built had it enclosed, like all the wires and stuff behind something that you just couldn't even get out to try to reuse that power supply. So yeah, I would stay away from you know, you like your HPs or your Lenovo's or anything like that. Like, just stay away from those. They might mine. I don't think mine had like sufficient cooling, and I figured that out after I put the 3080 in there. That, you know, there might not be sufficient cooling. The power supply is going to be proprietary as well. It's not going to be you're not going to be able to like switch wires out or add more wires or anything like that. It was just what it came with. So yeah, at the end of the day, stay away from those. But if you pick your parts, you know, like NZXT, Skytech, any of these other PC companies, if you pick your parts list and then you have them assemble it and then ship it out to you, that's going to be a significantly better thing, because then you're gonna see exactly what parts you're buying, and then when they get there, when the machine gets there, you can see, like, you can do the reference and see if those are the actual parts that they put in your PC. Not only is that way of going to make it easier for you to upgrade later down the road, because this is something that you'll probably end up doing, and if you go this way and you select the parts that you want in there, then you can pick exactly what you want in there so that you can prepare it and build a foundation for your next upgrade, or however you're going to go about doing that. So I'm not 100% against pre-builts, but I do think that you need to do your due diligence and find a reputable company that's going to provide a good, solid experience for you, and look at, you know, user reviews and stuff. When you know, get on the forums, get on over, you know, at Reddit and check these companies out. Do a little bit of research on the company before you buy it. There is a link for Skytech Gaming. I'm an affiliate, you know, there with those guys. You know, right now they just like approve my like status or whatever. So definitely do your like due diligence though, man. I personally haven't heard a whole lot bad about them, and I haven't bought anything from them yet, but definitely they are an option. There's a link if you want to check some of their stuff out. I did get on their website and I did check some stuff out, and for the most part, most of it seemed pretty reasonable when I was looking at specs and stuff like that. But if you want like AMD CPU, you're probably going to have to, you know, have them build that. But they do have some pre-builds. They did have some, you know, clearance type stuff that didn't look too bad. So, an NZXT is another option for you. They can build everything, and most of these places you can get like financing and stuff too, so that you don't have to like shoulder the whole cost up front. But make sure you get exactly what you want to buy, and don't like shoot yourself in the foot too much. I mean, like your entry level GPUs are pretty decent, especially if you're coming from console. They are pretty decent. But I look at those as like entry level. Like, you're gonna upgrade pretty fast if you buy like a 4060 or a 7600 XT or something. Like, I feel like you're gonna upgrade pretty quickly. I feel like you're gonna get to a point, because you're gonna get on that card. You're going to play a bunch of games at 1440p. You're going to see that you could play some games at 4K, and that's going to warp your mindset for when it comes to PC. My rule of thumb, honestly, is if you buy a 1080p card, you have to look at it as a 1080p card. If you buy a 1440p card, you kind of have to look at it as a 1440p card. Or if you buy a 4K card, you kind of have to look at them that way. Because if you don't, if you let the games that do play on higher resolutions and stuff like that warp your judgment, then you're going to have unrealistic expectations for PC gaming, like I did for a while, and that's not going to be healthy. That's not going to be healthy at all. So another con is the price. The price that you're going to pay for a pre-built is going to be anywhere from $200 to $500 more, or even more sometimes. Like, even more. Like, you can get on, like, you're going to be paying a little bit more of a premium for that, because you are going to be paying for your warranty. You are going to be paying for your tech support. You are going to be paying for the you're going to be paying for the experience too. Not just the machine, but you're going to be paying for somebody else's labor, somebody else's know-how, somebody else's. You're going to be paying for those skills. Like everybody, like when I hear these PC elitist dudes on here telling people to go build their own PC, I'm like, do these guys build their own cars? Do these guys build their own freaking, refrigerators? Do these guys build their own appliances? And who fixes them for them when they break down? Do they do that themselves? So you can't always just look at, listen to that and be like, oh yeah, building, you can't just listen to that and figure like, oh yeah, man, if they can do it, I can do it. Some people do not have those skills to do that, but I do, as somebody that fixes and builds things, and that's what I do for a living. Like, yeah, you can learn how to turn a screwdriver, like no problem. But yeah, you are going to pay the extra money for a pre-built, because you are paying for knowledge that you clearly do not have, and that you would have to spend a lot of time figuring out. I mean, best case scenario, you got to watch a whole video on how to freaking build a PC from start to finish. And not only are you going to have to look around the web to find that particular video, you might have to watch multiple videos because somebody might not show you an angle right, or they might not do something, and it's just going to leave you frustrated. You're going to have to get in there and set up your BIOS. You're going to have to... There's a lot of stuff that comes to building a PC, especially your first time. You might as well see if you enjoy and love PC gaming before you do all the extra legwork to learn how to become a PC Master Race elitist like the rest of us. I just find it hilarious that people offer you guys that solution, and I think that pushes more people away from PC gaming than it actually brings them into. You will learn very quickly. You will learn very quickly that buying a pre-built is probably not the wisest choice for your money. You'll learn that pretty quickly. And you'll know, like, you will pay for that experience that you're having somebody else do for you, so that you get a working product day one, so that you can enjoy your PC experience. You're going to pay for that. You're going to pay for somebody to build your car. You're going to pay for somebody to fix your car. You're going to pay for somebody to build your refrigerator. You're not going to build any of this stuff on your own. Thankfully, DIY PC is a thing, and yes, this is skills and a process that you can learn and master to become great and to be able to save yourself a lot of money. A lot of money. So, let's talk about the pros of building your own PC. The biggest one that comes to mind is the amount of money that you're going to save. And like I said before, anywhere from $200 to $500 or even more, depending if you go used or you go new. You can save a lot of money and get a lot of power for that money. That is the ultimate PC experience, is being able to save a lot of money and build your own creation that is going to play the games that you want to play. So that is awesome. And yes, the next benefit that comes right after that one is, oh my gosh, the sense of pride and the feeling that you get out of that creation that you built with your two hands. You get to be proud about that, because you're like, yeah, I built this. I bought the parts. I sourced the stuff. I got the resources, and I put this together. I made this, and look at what it does for me. That's why a lot of people are very prideful on the PC platform. That is part of the experience, is building your PC, doing it right, doing it the exact way you want to do it, and figuring that out and making it all work and seeing it come to life when you hit the power button. Those feelings are awesome. And there's no, like, paying somebody else to do that is never going to give you that feeling, but you don't necessarily have to ever have that feeling to be a PC gamer. You just have to, but yes, you're going to save a lot of money, because you're going to be paying yourself for all that labor. You're going to be saving the money for buying the parts that you want to buy. If you're a very thrifty person, you'll be able to find some of this stuff on clearance. You might be able to get used parts, something like that. You are always going to be able to save money by building your own PC. And that's why I do recommend, like I said, if you're going to get a pre-built, do not get a proprietary garbage one. Get one that's built with real parts, because then you get to really learn inside those training wheels with that PC that you spent all that money on. At least you get some sort of an experience for changing graphics cards and doing stuff like that. So the third benefit of building your own PC is you get to do it at your pace. You get to do it on your time. And you get to swap and move things and research things and truly learn from the ground up what it takes to power a PC, how different parts are going to work together, having to figure out how to set up your timings on your on your RAM, just getting in there, learning how to set up your BIOS, like all of these things you're going to have to learn to build a PC. So that is going to give you a lot more knowledge and a better foundation for PC gaming going forward. So, there are some cons. There are some cons to building your own PC. You're not going to get that fabulous, wonderful warranty, all-in-one warranty that you would have got from buying your pre-built. Nope. Now it's a little bit different. You are going to have warranties on your individual parts. But then you got to figure out and troubleshoot and figure out exactly which one of those parts is the one that's giving you your problem. Because you could have a faulty power supply that's making your GPU not run right, that in turn could make it so you feel like, oh, my GPU is not working right. And, you're like, oh, man, my last GPU worked just fine, but my new one's not working right because it's broken. Well, here's the thing. If your power supply is not right, your old GPU, say you had a 3060 and you're running it like 190 watts and it's working just fine on your thing. But then you buy a 250 watt, GPU, and for some reason it just doesn't work. It's not working as good as the other one. Well, now you've got to figure out what part in your PC is creating the problem, and then you've got to figure out which one to RMA to send out to see which one's going to get fixed or how to get it fixed. So yeah. That's one of the reasons why I recommend some training wheels, man, so that you can figure this stuff out. Like, because you're gonna want that. You're gonna want that training. You're gonna want to enjoy the PC experience before you have to deal with one of those annoying ass issues that is going to drive you crazy and force you to be like in a mindset. You do not want to build your first PC and start right off the bat with those issues. You don't. So yeah, warranty issues. Figuring out where to send those parts to get them fixed, or figuring out, just what thing is wrong. That can be annoying. So that's like number one on the top of my list. So another con is you are going to have to you're going to have to install all of your apps and all of that stuff, which isn't bad. I mean, you get it like with a pre-built, you're going to get a whole bunch of different like adware nonsense, especially if you buy like an HP or any of that garbage. You're going to get a lot of proprietary garbage software that you probably don't care about. Whereas if you build your own PC, and this is kind of a pro con. If you build your own PC, you're going to be able to freaking put exactly what you want on there and not worry about any of the other garbage. But you're also going to have to figure out exactly what to download onto your... Well, most of the stuff's going to be pretty... You have to download your chipset driver for your CPU. You're going to have to download your if there's a BIOS update for your motherboard, you're going to have to download that and install that first before you install anything else, even Windows. There's a lot, so it can get a little bit overwhelming, and don't worry if you miss a step. You can always fix it. Don't worry if you miss, if you forget to download this driver or that driver or whatever. A lot of that stuff, if you get in there, like Windows will kind of look for some of your drivers and stuff like that. So, that's just one of the, like pro con. It's a pro con, pro because you get to only download what you want, but a con because you have to figure out a lot of that stuff. Most of the like your motherboard, your CPU, your GPU, all of that stuff. I mean, some SSDs are going to have like driver software that you need to download for them. So most of the time, it's pretty easy to figure out. Just make sure you get yourself a really good step-by-step video so that it teaches you exactly how to do all of that stuff and keeps it like in your mind. So that you can find that stuff pretty easily. yeah, another con to building to building your own PC is you are going to have some you are going to have some knowledge of how to use a screwdriver, how to use zip ties. I know. Yeah, I mean just a basic understanding of like, you know, being able to, you know, read some of the directions and stuff like that, because you're going to get a lot of little tiny parts, especially with your AIOs and your air coolers and stuff like that. You're going to get like different type of mounts so that you can mount it to LGA sockets or to AM5 sockets or AM4 sockets. It's yeah. So I mean it is kind of a process that you got to learn. Like, but I trust me, man, it is so rewarding to build your own PC. Like I said, you're going to get that pride. You're going to get that sense of fulfillment that like, wow, man, I created this. And that there is going to be way better than the pride of overpaying for a freaking... You're going to get more pride out of finding and building a cheaper PC than spending all that money on a pre-built. Like, trust me, like I know there's pride that comes with both. You know, like, yeah, man, I bought a 4090 pre-built, or, you know, versus I built a 4090 pre-built and saved $1,000. There's different levels of pride in both of those. You know, one you're like, yeah, man, money's no object, and the other one is like, yeah, man, I saved myself a lot of money. So yeah, dude, like that's the great thing about PC is it's so freaking big and so massive and so incredible that like there's a spot for everybody here. But I do kind of feel like the elitists push a lot of people away because they're like, man, you got to go build your own PC. And it's like, you know what I tell them? Dude, you got to go build your own car. You have to build your car from the ground up so that you can really enjoy it and save all that money on that labor and everything. We'll see what happens first. We'll see if those guys will take their own advice and go out there and build their own car from the ground up. Like, see if they can go out and source all the parts and build their own car. Because all right, my friends. Well, if you guys like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope it wasn't too all over the place, man. I've just been thinking about this because I get a lot of comments about that. I know that there's people that want to come to PC, but they're so unsure. And absolutely do not buy a laptop. Do not buy a laptop for gaming. I mean, yes, it works obviously, and you're definitely going to be able to get a better experience, but don't do it. Don't do it. I kind of feel like laptops are just kind of a waste of money, because you have once you buy that, I mean, you might be able to upgrade your SSD or you might be able to upgrade your RAM a little bit, but for the most part, they're absolutely not upgradable. Like, there's nothing you can do, and you're going to spend a lot of money on that laptop that you could have put into a desktop and build a more powerful machine just on the fact that you got a much higher power, a much higher PSU power supply on a desktop PC that you're going to be able to push that harder than any of these little laptops are going to be able to do. So yeah, guys, if you like this content, do not forget to like and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for freaking watching. And yeah, we'll see you guys later.